but maybe some people here who may not have a university degree themselves may not appreciate just what this achievement includes. Many students have relocated hundreds or even thousands of miles to study here, leaving behind your country, your homes and your families and your friends. Some of you have had to adjust to a new culture, a new city, a new way of life, and in some cases adapt to a second language. Some of you have had to study knowing that your families have made really great sacrifices, financial and otherwise, to have you here. So that puts huge pressure on you to perform and to pass your examinations. Almost all of you have sacrificed quality time with loved ones. And most of you will have found your studies difficult. Not everybody, there are those few really bright ones that just sail through, but that's not like most of us. Every graduating student here today, all of you, have demonstrated commitment and perseverance. Along the way you've had victories and successes, you've also had challenges and difficulties, and in some cases you've faced failure. But all of those things together, all of those experiences have equipped you for life in your career going forward. What I can be most proud of today, along with all of us here, is you, the latest crop of graduating students who are going to go out into society and make a difference. Our university motto, as you know, I think, is Doctrina Perpetua. Perpetual learning or forever learning. And I think you all know that although today is a very, very important milestone in your education, it will most likely not be the last one. Statistics show that new graduates graduating today will probably go through 5 career changes in their lifetime. Just think about that. And very likely you'll need additional training, whether it be technical training in a new discipline, whether it'll be management or commercial training, or other training that just rounds you out for the life ahead. To all of you graduating, I say once again congratulations, good luck with your careers and your lifelong journey of learning. And to those who helped you get here, I say thank you and a job well done. Thank you. I call on the Acting Vice-Chancellor and President, Professor Hilary Winchester, to deliver the opening address.
Chancellor, Council members and staff of the University, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and our wonderful graduating students. I'm delighted to be here today to give the opening address for this graduation ceremony for CQ University, here in the heart of Australia, on the land of the Gadigal of the Eora Nation, who are the traditional custodians of this place we now call Sydney. I acknowledge their elders and their living culture. If you look at page 2 of your brochure for this ceremony, you may notice that I am not Professor Scott Bowman, our Vice-Chancellor and President, but am acting in his place today as he is elsewhere performing another very important function. Today he is signing an agreement with the government which will join Central Queensland Institute of TAFE with CQ University to make a larger and stronger university. This new merged university will be a formidable tertiary education enterprise with a full range of post-secondary qualifications from certificates to doctorates, and with an amazing geographical spread from Central Queensland to all the major metropolitan centres, and bringing together over 100 different nationalities of students. So welcome to the university, which is the most inclusive, as of today the fastest growing and the most engaged. One of the hallmarks of our growth this year has been our success in Australian Research Council linkage grants, where this university, your university, had the highest success rate of all Australian universities in obtaining grants with industry partners. Not the most grants or the most dollars, but the best success rate. The university you are graduating from today is open, inclusive, engaged, and growing its successes very rapidly. You should be proud of your university, as we are proud of you. But today is primarily about you. This group here in robes and mortarboards, our group that's technically known as graduands at this point. Graduands, not graduates. A graduand is someone about to graduate. It comes from the Latin verb graduare. And I was thinking about this last night and about my own graduation ceremony, which was actually conducted in Latin at the University of Oxford. It was a very strange ceremony to me. It was a bit like magic and mumbo-jumbo. And the dean held his hand out like that. And one of the students, the graduates, had to hold on to a finger. And you held on to the finger, and things were said in Latin, and you passed across the stage, and suddenly a graduand became a graduate. It was also a particularly hot day, I remember, for an English summer, which means it got to about 27 degrees. People were fainting in the aisles, but the sun was coming in through stained glass windows like the ones up there, and of course in England there was no air conditioning. So why does this matter? Well, for one thing, this day should be memorable for you, and I think in this wonderful location it will be, but also enjoyable, a day for congratulation and thanks and a sense of relief as well. But for another, a graduation is one of those rites of passage where there are rituals of dress, of behaviour, of language. I don't think mostly you get dressed up like this many times in your career. Probably if you've been at the university for 2 or 3 years, nobody has ever talked about doffing. You know, the verb to doff your cap. They don't talk about testamus very much. So we have special robes, we have special language, and we have a special event. A memorable event with family, with supporters, and if those family and supporters can't be here, then at least you have friends and colleagues and the staff who helped you through. But the importance of the event is not so much the external symbols, but actually the passage or the transition itself. It's a movement from one place to another, from one state to another. At the moment, you are in a liminal space. You are in a space on the edge. And you're about to set sail, and it's actually that passage that allows the separation from the banal, from the everyday, from the assignments, which changes you and enables you to become something else and someone else. Just last weekend, a group of our staff went away to North Keppel Island for a writing retreat. They packed their laptops and their reference books. They packed their casual clothes and their swimmers. And they literally left the workaday behind. The physical separation, that physical passage, enables them to become, for a weekend, a different person. A dedicated researcher, writer, rather than a parent, a teacher, a provider. So what is happening to you today is that you will become someone else. When you receive your parchment and the Chancellor shakes your hand, it is a discontinuity in the continuity of life. It's actually the same process as when people go on pilgrimage. They dress in penitent's clothes, in sackcloth and ashes, and it's the passage that makes them pure, that changes their state from profane to sacred. It's the same when people go to Niagara Falls for their honeymoon. They travel to somewhere exotic. They have the bridal robes. They change their state from single to married. Or closer to home, the same process of ritual passage when school leavers go to the Gold Coast for Schoolies Week. There's physical separation and distance from the everyday. There are rituals of clothing and behaviour, which I won't go into, and a change of state from youth to adulthood. And in that process, there is joy and satisfaction and things that are ultimately memorable. There are obviously continuities. You will still be the same person at the end of this afternoon's ceremony, but you will also be changed. So my opening address is to remind you that we are here enacting a ritual with its origin in the medieval universities of Europe. You will change from being one of our students to one of our alumni, more Latin. As you cross the stage, you will change from graduate to graduate. For some of you, those changes will be dramatic, from full-time study to full-time work. For others, it will be more like an evolutionary process. I congratulate you all. For you, today is a ritual to be enjoyed, to be savoured, and to be remembered. Enjoy this ritual with its roots in the medieval past, and go out as a graduate of CQ University to embrace the challenges and opportunities of the 21st century. Thanks.
I invite the University Secretary, Ms. Jenny Roberts, to present the Honorary Award.
Chancellor, I present Dr. Wendy Craig to be conferred with the honorary degree of Doctor of Public Policy. Wendy Craig AM has led the way as a contributor to public policy. She has demonstrated a drive for excellence in her career, which has included roles such as the President of the National Competition Council, Chief Executive Officer of Earth Sanctuaries Limited, the first female Executive Director of the National Farmers Federation, the first female Executive Officer of the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park Authority, and the Chief Executive of the Murray-Darling Basin Commission. Since 2009, Wendy has been a Commissioner of the Productivity Commission. Wendy's career has focused on environmental issues and maintaining our natural resources through a variety of roles. Throughout her career, she has demonstrated an enduring interest in guiding and improving a large range of organisations for the public good. She successfully moved from a research role into management and has continued to lend her expertise to her fields of interest. A feature of Wendy's early management career path was that she undertook opportunities for professional training, including a graduate diploma of management from CQ University's predecessor institution, the Capricornia Institute of Advanced Education. In 2007, Wendy was awarded the Member of the Order of Australia for her service to the natural resource sector of the economy, particularly in the areas of fisheries, marine ecology, and management of water reform. In her role as Commissioner at the Productivity Commission, Wendy continues to strive for excellence, utilising her extensive knowledge. Wendy Craig is an alumnus of this university who we are very proud of, and she continues to make a major contribution to public policy. She exemplifies a person who CQ University is keen to honour, and it is for these reasons that today we confer on Wendy Craig the honorary degree of Doctor of Public Policy.
Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of honorary awards. I invite Dr. Wendy Craig to deliver the occasional address.
Chancellor Rennie Fritchie, Vice-Chancellor and President, Hilary Winchester, distinguished guests and graduates, or graduands, I should say, after the previous speech. Thank you for the honour that you have given me today. I feel greatly privileged, and I should add, I was very surprised when I received the letter. I should also acknowledge the support and assistance of my husband and colleagues, because in life you don't achieve very much by yourself. I'd like to congratulate today's graduates. It's a terrific achievement for you and for those who have supported you along the way. I encourage you and your families and friends to celebrate and acknowledge this important milestone in your lives. Our society is changing. We live longer, more of us live on the coast in cities, and more generations coexist. Our households are changing and are generally smaller. We live in an increasingly globalised world, and our ethnic mix continues to evolve. We spend more on services and outsourcing. We're more ecologically sensitive. New industries and occupations are emerging. Most of us work in the services sector, and the concepts of being an employee and retiring no longer have the same meaning that they once did. In this changing world, we're faced with a range of big challenges. How to increase our productivity, how to deal with societal issues like health, like feeding the world, Indigenous issues, an ageing population and climate change, to name a few. To meet these challenges, we need people with your wide range of skills who can collectively provide us with advice and, importantly, leadership on the way forward. These challenges will also provide you with choices. Probably some of the choices will be imposed upon you, but I hope you'll be able to drive some of them. Grasping the opportunities for change can be daunting, but it can also be exhilarating and rewarding. And the most daunting challenge is often the one that you should most seriously consider. The more that you are prepared to take a risk and make some difficult decisions, the more that you are likely to succeed. And if it doesn't work out, well, you've learned some valuable life lessons along the way. Reluctance to take a stand rarely led to achieving very much. In the United States, it's well accepted that successful entrepreneurs have to fail several times before they succeed. Maybe we need to develop a greater tolerance of mistakes and failure here in Australia. My association with this institution arose when I undertook a graduate diploma of management at the then Capricornian Institute of Advanced Education. I'd been told that while my technical qualifications were fine, I needed a greater understanding of management principles. And that course helped me realise that managing people and organisations was what I loved to do. And it helped me along the way to some wonderful roles from the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park Authority, the National Farmers Federation and the Maritime Basin Commission, for example. Organisations which I never would have contemplated working in when I started my science degree. Some of the positions that I've held have been far more character building than I would have liked. But in retrospect, I probably learned more from those situations than from more comfortable positions. One of the great attractions of my current role as a Commissioner at the Productivity Commission, which is the Australian Government independent research and advisory body on microeconomic policy and regulation, is that I get to review different areas of the economy and society to test whether the accepted wisdom or the current situation is in the long-term interests of the Australian community. We spend a lot of time collecting evidence and trying to ensure that our recommendations are based on the best evidence that is available at the time. A few examples from some of our reports underline the importance of being able to undertake independent analysis and questioning. Let me give you 3 examples. Our report into road and rail infrastructure found that the view that road use was systematically subsidised relative to rail was not supported by the facts. In a series of reviews, we found that the well-intentioned regulatory framework designed to protect native flora and fauna and to conserve historic buildings was actually undermining conservation goals by creating perverse incentives for those who are responsible. And thirdly, in the review of waste management, we found that the so-called evidence of the problem posed by plastic shopping bags was a media report from India that a dead cow on the streets of New Delhi had 35,000 plastic bags in its digestive system. One feels sorry for the cow, if it did exist. But these examples underline the value of collecting facts and questioning the accepted wisdom, even if you think you'll sound silly in doing so. As I was saying to Guru before this event, often when you do ask questions that you think sound silly, someone else in the meeting will come up to you afterwards and say, I'm glad you asked that question, I didn't know the answer either. Now if I could give you a few other tips I've picked up along the way. Seek out mentors to help you and provide a sounding board. Establish and maintain wide networks and include people outside your immediate discipline. Learn to communicate effectively. You need to get your message across. Keep learning throughout your career. And finally, don't take yourself too seriously. A sense of humour can be wonderfully liberating in intense situations. As you move on from university, I'm sure you'll have successful, enjoyable and challenging lives. I congratulate you all again and wish you all the best for your future. Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy. Ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to present to you a musical performance by Mr. Brett O'Neill. Brett is a graduate of CQ University's Music Theatre program. He starred in numerous musicals, including High School Musical, The Pyjama Game and Bye Bye Birdie. He is also an avid writer, director and performer of educational musicals, both in Australia and New Zealand. Brett won multiple awards during his time at the Central Queensland Conservatorium, including Most Promising Voice in Music Theatre. Brett was also a member of the pop opera group Formidable, which toured Australia for 3 years.
This is the moment, this is the day when I send all my doubts and demons on their way. Every endeavor I have made ever is coming into play, is here and now today. This is the moment, this is the time when the momentum and the moment are in rhyme. Give me this moment, this precious chance. I'll gather up my past and make some sense at last. This is the moment when all I've done, all of the dreaming, screaming and scheming become one. This is the day. See it sparkle and shine.
Shenaizi Jin. Valeria Kanetskaya. Pratima Kapi. Tinya Teresa Alda Saburo. Master of Business Administration, Human Resources Management, Vilmeya Waka Varia.
Оля, поздравления.
Спасибо большое.
Of Professional Accounting, Anna Antonian.
Ура!
Kaneet Singh. Sarama Lakshmi Kodaluri. Andrei Alexandrovich Lopurets. Jing Lu.
Хорошо смотришься.
Катя Nabolskaya.
Ура!
Imelda Rambu Pumba Joe Romana. Valeria Azerianska. Ku Sai Pan. Van.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to present the recipients of the Sydney Campus Leadership Awards. These awards recognise students who have demonstrated a combination of the following: a strong commitment to their studies, the ability to respond to challenges, a capacity to act as a mentor to other students, a willingness to contribute to the life of the campus, outstanding potential for significant leadership in their future careers, clear commitment to the value of cultural diversity and creative talent and enterprise. To receive the Head of Campus Award for Leadership for her outstanding performance in the Bachelor of Accounting program, I present Jia Zhu. to receive the Head of Campus Award for leadership for her outstanding performance in the Master of Business Administration Financial Management Program, I present Olga Saborova. Chancellor, that concludes.
Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, our guest speaker Dr. Wendy Craig, and other distinguished guests. Fellow graduates, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Standing in front of all of you today is the most emotional charge of my life by this point. And it's not only my pleasure to be with you all today, it's also my greatest honor. I should say, you're my biggest audience so far. And there are so many things I would like to share with you. However, I'm not too sure if I have enough time for all of this. So today, I want to talk about only one thing, about our dreams. Probably some of you already know how it can be hard and challenging to follow a dream. Moreover, different people have different opportunities. And I think we are all lucky today, not only because we're having our degree, but also because this degree makes us different from the most people in this world. Think about it. How many people in this planet would like to study to get a university degree, but they just never had a chance? Education is our green light to our dreams, and we should appreciate these opportunities we have. But what is opportunities and how we can use them, how we can recognize the right one for us? Personally, for example, a few years ago, I was dreaming about being part of a charity organization. So when I was a student here at CQU, I had an opportunity to engage with the various local organizations through their volunteer work, such as Exodus Foundation, feeding the homeless, volunteering for MSF, Doctors Without Borders, and my role as a student mentor here at Sydney campus. It is important to understand what we want to get from this life and who we want to be. Knowing this, we will see the right opportunities for us, and the only thing we need to be brave enough to use it. Do not miss it, because some chances we have only once in our lifetime. Interestingly, but whatever dream we have, if we don't want this dream with all our essence, the universe will give us at least thousands of reasons or excuses why we cannot achieve it. Not brave enough, not motivated enough, or even not fast enough in making decisions. At the same time, if we want something really bad, we want it more than we want to sleep in the evening, you know, our brain will find a way how to get it. It's incredible, but it works. Well, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Actually, it doesn't matter how challenging or how difficult it's going to be, because we should always go on, step by step. And if you want to build a wall, you don't say, I'm going to build the biggest, greatest wall that ever been built. You don't start there. You start with, I'm going to put this brick as perfectly as the brick can be laid. And you're doing this every single day. And soon you have a wall. I'm proud to be here with you today, but only 5-7 years ago, I thought it was possible to leave my country, my family and friends, my lovely dog, and come here to Australia to get not just an MBA, but MBA in finance. At least because that time I almost didn't speak English. And this makes me believe that everything is possible. For impossible, we just need more time. We must work hard and be patient. Never listen that you cannot. Listen yourself. you can. And of course there are lots of serious challenges along the way and failures. It's really hard, sometimes it's scary, and it can be difficult. I'm sure by now we all failed, and probably not just once. Personally, I remember some of my failures. Like a couple of years ago, I went to Kilimanjaro, and I didn't reach the top, being only 400 meters away, only 400 meters. And it was really hard to decide to go back after 4 days climbing up. Well, I'm gonna come back one day. Next time it happens to me, right at the end of my first semester here, I got my exams result, and I failed it. I remember at that time I was thinking that MBA program was probably too hard, or even I should give up. But what would I do if I quit? I didn't know, and you know, it was scary. I had some more failures in my life, like we all had. And good news is that there are more to come for us. It's a good news because, as they said, if you never failed, you never lived the life. Just remember, it is important not to focus on our mistakes, but to treat them as a lesson. It doesn't matter how hard the life would hit you. Get up and move on. Just don't forget that on the way to our dreams, with all those ups and downs, it's good to surround ourselves with the right people, those who will support us and encourage when we need this the most, those who are always here for us when we need a hand. Here I would like to take an opportunity and to say thanks some of them. Thank you to our incredible LSU for your support and directions in a very tough time for some of us. Guys, you are just doing miracles when our assignments deadlines are so soon. Thank our library staff, IT people, academic and student services departments for your generous support. Also, I would love to thank our special guest speaker, Dr. Wendy Craig, for coming and sharing this day with us. We would like you to accept this little gift from us. And the last but not the least, we all have very special people who we would like to thank as well. Yes, I'm talking about family and friends. I would love to say thank you to all my friends, and especially to Irina Chuchkina for being my best advisor, motivator, and my inspiration for all these years. Thank you to my family for all their support. Special thanks to my mom, who lives far away, but whose care and involvement I can feel every day. Спасибо, mama. An exceptional thank to my beloved husband and my best friend at the same time, who is here today with me. Thank you for spending many of your weekends trying to find out with me what is capital structure and how to maximize shareholders value. Thank you, and remember, as our university motto said, be what you want to be. Thank you all for your time today, and congratulations.
All new graduates, please stand. I charge you as graduates of CQ University Australia to maintain a commitment to lifelong learning, to strive for truth, integrity and compassion, to contribute to your chosen profession, and by the application of your abilities to support and nurture the communities of which you are a part. May your awards bring honour to your university, to your profession and to yourselves. Good luck. Just before you sit down, I'd like to ask you to turn around and face all your supporters down the side and down the back. If you give them a good clap. Well done. Please be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the ceremony. On behalf of the Chancellor and the members of the University Council and staff from CQ University, Sydney, I would like to thank you for attending and invite you to join us for refreshments following the ceremony. Please stand while the official party retires.